Keri Glassman. Welcome to your most nutritious life. Okay, so not to get negative, but we got to get into the don'ts. So here are the 5 don'ts. The first don't is, and you've probably heard it, but are you doing it? Don't say diet. We do not want to say diet. It is a surefire way to send your child straight to therapy. Not that there's anything wrong with therapy, but if we can avoid it around this topic, all the better. So don't say diet. Take it out of your vocabulary altogether, once and for all. Right now, you're not saying diet again. The next don't is don't reward with food. This is a toughie, and I cannot say that I have never done it. Of course I have. We're all human. We're going to do it at some point, but really don't make that a habit. Really don't use your reward system around food. And I know it's a really hard thing, especially, in so many different social situations where you just want to say, kid, you gotta be quiet, please. Okay, I'll give you a lollipop. It's really hard. Don't do it. You gotta come up with another system, and every family has whatever ways they want to reward their children, but don't use food. The next don't is don't try to control your kids' hunger cues. It's hard enough to control our own hunger cues and listen to our own bodies. We can't pretend that we can actually listen completely to our children's bodies. We have to let them learn how to do that on their own, because one of the most beautiful things about being a child is that they aren't all loaded down with emotional eating issues like we are. They're not going to eat a pint of ice cream because they're sad. That's learned behavior. So if we can encourage them, or I'd say empower them to listen to their bodies as much as possible, all the better. So if your child isn't hungry at dinner, that doesn't mean, well, then they can go, they should go and necessarily eat dessert. I'm not saying that, but if they're not hungry and they're eating a lot less one night, don't force them to clean their plate. Maybe they weren't as active that day. Maybe they don't need as many calories that day. That's okay. You want to empower them to listen to their body so they learn and they don't unlearn how to eat when they're slightly hungry and stop eating when they're slightly satisfied. The next don't is don't isolate your overweight child or your underweight child. Don't isolate any child in the family that might have a specific eating issue. The whole family needs to be on board. And this is something I talk about often, is creating a food culture for your family. Everybody's food culture can be different, but your whole family needs to get on board with what the food culture is. Are you a family that eats home and cooks 3-course meals every night? Are you a family that eats all organic? Are you a family that has sweets once a week? Whatever it is, determine what the food culture of your home is, and everyone needs to be on board. The final don't is don't deprive your child of cake. And that can be cake. It can be whatever, cake, cookie, whatever it is, fries. There are times and places, even if your child is overweight, where if everyone's eating cake, like at a birthday party, they should be eating cake. You do not deprive your child of that piece of cake. I'm not saying that it should lead to 2 or 3 and it should be every day, but your child in that type of a situation should be allowed to and understand that there are times and places to indulge in food, and that it's only going to set them up for a whole lot more emotional eating and even closet eating when you deprive them in this situation. So those are my 5 don'ts. It's obviously a much bigger topic than that, but hopefully that's a good way to get you started. I want to hear from you in the comments below, what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you. I'd love to help you, so definitely leave some comments below, subscribe to my channel, and thanks so much for watching. And don't forget to check the link below also, because there is a special offer for you. Bye.